Hi, my name is Francis McDonald, and I'm the CEO of Lift Power. I'm going to be talking through the company today. I'll be making some forward-looking statements, so do your own due diligence. So, talking about Lift, Lift Power is a company. We are focused on the exploration and development of hard rock lithium deposits in Canada. And so, when I say hard rock lithium, this is not lithium like you would find in South America that's in a big brine or a big settling pond. So we've all seen these pictures of neon green water that are lithium deposits. Eventually, these are veins of white rock that are in surrounding country rocks. So this is what we're after in Canada. The lithium story, I think, is pretty prevalent in society right now. Everybody is seeing the effects of climate change. And so we all know that we have to make this transition away from hydrocarbons and into green energy. And so lithium is obviously a key component of that, and especially for electric vehicles. So the demand for electric vehicles has been increasing year on year by I think it's 10% each year. So the demand for lithium is also increasing substantially every year. Right now in the world, no one really knows where all this lithium is going to come from in order to make enough lithium batteries for these cars. And so lithium exploration is a very exciting place to be right now. So focusing on Lift has 3 projects in our portfolio. The Yellowknife Project is the flagship project. This is located just outside the city of Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories of Canada. What this is, it's a portfolio of 13 lithium deposits, which are called spodumene pegmatites, and the average grade is 1.07 to 2.2% lithium. The deposits have nearly 100% outcropping exposure, and when they stick out of the ground, it's just really easy to see how big this project could be. The other thing about the Yellowknife area is it's got excellent transport infrastructure. And so when I say that, there's a paved highway that goes through 7 of the deposits, and railway is also relatively close to Yellowknife. So Lift has started a big drill program in June. It's about 45,000 meters of drilling, and that'll be completed by November. And the strategy for the drill program is just drilling underneath these exposed lithium deposits that stick out of the ground, and we're just drilling underneath these surface exposures. We reported the first assays on the project a few weeks ago, and some of the highlights were 79 meters at 1.13% lithium, 39 meters at 1.43% lithium. We have a couple other projects in the portfolio, but I will be focusing on the Yellowknife project today. So just a little bit about Lift from a financial perspective. We have 39.2 million shares out. There's about 730 options issued right now and no warrants, and so fully diluted just under 40 million shares. We have a market cap that's anywhere between 325 and about 375 million, depending on how much we're trading at on that day. And as of July 27th, we have about $27 million in cash. In terms of the ownership, so founders own about 52%, institutional investors have about 16%, retail is about 27%, and management directors is about 5.1%. And so that the share structure is very tight. The top 10 shareholders own about 65% of the company. So zooming into the projects, the Yellowknife project area is just outside the city of Yellowknife. And on the map, Yellowknife is on the north side of Great Slave Lake. And so to the east of Yellowknife, each one of the green dots on the map is one of the lithium deposits. So to the east of Yellowknife, there's a road that's on the map that's called the Ingram Trail. And on the right-hand side over here, this is a picture of the Ingram Trail. So it's a 2-lane paved highway. It's open year-round, and the government plows it year-round, and it's fully maintained by the government. So that road goes through 7 of the lithium deposits. And then out to the east, to the west of Yellowknife is highway number 3, and that takes you down to the town of Hay River. Hay River is important because that's where the railroad starts. And so once you get the product to rail, which would be a spodumene concentrate, it becomes a lot cheaper to ship elsewhere in Canada or North America. The other part to the infrastructure story here is Great Slave Lake itself. This is a huge lake, and it's ice-free for 4 to 5 months out of the year. And so during those months, you can be barging a spodumene concentrate across the lake and barging it to Hay River. So you can put a lot more material on a barge, and it's a lot cheaper than trucking it. And so this is why I think that the Yellowknife project is really one of the best located lithium or spodumene deposits in Canada relative to transport infrastructure. So this is the special thing about this project is that the Yellowknife pegmatites or lithium deposits stick out of the ground. They're visible from space. And so on the left-hand side, this is satellite imagery, and these white veins that you see cutting across the landscape, these are the lithium deposits. And on the right-hand side, this is what they look like on surface. So we have a diamond drill rig over here, and it's just pointing at this big wall of white rock that you see here, which is the Phi Southwest lithium pegmatite. When the deposits stick out of the ground like this, it's just really easy to see how big this could be, because you can start doing some back of the envelope calculations. You say, okay, the Phi main pegmatite is 2 kilometers long, it's averaging about 15 meters wide, and we're going to drill these to 300 meters vertical. So you can say, okay, this is about how many tons is there? So the other thing is, when you have outcrop like this, you can do a lot of detailed work on surface. And people have been up here since the 1950s exploring for lithium. And what they found is that there's economic lithium grades at surface. So we are just drilling underneath these lithium deposits where there's already been proven economic grades. There are multiple deposits in the district. So we have 13 different lithium deposits. And this is a map of all of those deposits. This is all at the same scale. We just looked at the Phi main area, so the Phi main, Phi Southwest, and the Boya area. This is in cluster number 1. Shorty is in that cluster as well, 500 meters long, 25 meters wide, and Kai, 1,500 meters long, 12 meters wide. Going to the west, and we're going back towards Yellowknife along the highway. Big east and big west, 2 pegmatite dike swarms. And so when I say a dike swarm, it's many dikes that are coming up in a corridor. So we've got 2 of those, kilometer long each, and then Knight is also about 1 kilometer long and about 7 meters wide. So all of the ones I just talked through, those are the ones that are road accessible or within that 10 kilometer buffer from that paved highway. And then there's another cluster about 120 kilometers to the east of Yellowknife. The echo target is something that's really special out there. It's the geometry of the dikes makes it easier to picture a circular pit going around this area. And also the grade is really high at 1.59%. So within this whole portfolio, there's only been 23 diamond drill holes historically, and it's about 3,400 meters of drilling. What that drilling showed was that the pegmatites are similar widths and grades at depth to what we see at surface. This year, LIFT is planning a 45,000 meter drill program, and we're going to be testing 8 different lithium pegmatites. And this is showing a plan of that drill program. So each one of these dots is a drill collar or a place where we set the drill, and each line is where we're pointing the drill. So you can see the density of what we're trying to do. We have completed about 13,000 meters so far. We're currently on about the 80th hole, and we're on track to be finished by the end of October 2023. We've got 5 diamond drill rigs going right now. We're currently drilling 4 different pegmatites. And so just to put this in perspective, I think it's always good to look at something that we all know is good and then compare what you have to it and say, oh, this is my thing. It looks like that good thing. So the good thing on this map is Sigma Lithium. Sigma Lithium is a company that's in Brazil. They're currently producing spodumene concentrate, and the company is valued at about $5 billion right now. So on this map, each one of these green polygons, this is the surface expression of the dikes that make up the Sigma Lithium deposit. And Sigma is a great comparison for Yellowknife because Sigma is a pegmatite district and it has multiple dikes that feed into a global resource. And this is exactly what we have at Yellowknife. So when you look at Sigma and you project all of these dikes to surface, the surface area comes out to be about 85,000 square meters. At Yellowknife, the surface area of the dikes is about 158,000 square meters. And so Sigma has a global resource of about 86 million tons. We're not sure what Yellowknife is going to be, but I think just looking at this screen, you can see there's more yellow than there is green. And so it's pretty easy to imagine that we could come out with an initial resource that's much higher than the 86 million tons that Sigma has. So as highlights for LIFT, we believe that we have one of the most exciting exploration portfolios for hard rock lithium on the planet. There's world-class potential here, especially at the Yellowknife project. We're well-financed. We have a tight share structure. We're drilling 2 projects in 2023, the other being our Quebec projects, and we have a whole bunch of other things happening in the background in Quebec that will come up with additional drill targets for 2024. And that's the lift story.